Welcome to English Odyssey. Get ready, everyone, because this story will take you on an exciting adventure. Let the story begin. A sudden and very big fight began in the Middle East. This was a dangerous time. Two important countries started attacking each other directly. These countries are Iran and Israel. The fighting started quickly and without much warning. First, Israel made an attack on Iran. Israel used its military power to hit certain places inside Iran. These attacks were significant. After Israel's first move, Iran decided to respond strongly. Iran launched a large number of missiles. Many missiles were sent from Iran flying towards Israel. Iran's missile attack was a direct answer to Israel's action. This exchange of attacks was a major event. It was the biggest direct military fight between Iran and Israel that has happened in many, many years. It was different from previous smaller problems between them because the fight was so big and happened directly between the two nations. Many people became very scared. People living in the Middle East worried a lot. They feared that this fight could quickly grow into a much larger war involving more countries. The situation created great tension and fear in both Iran and Israel. People in cities had to prepare for possible attacks. The fear of a wider conflict spreading across the region became very real. The world was watching this serious moment carefully, wondering how this sudden and severe conflict would develop. It was a moment of high danger. Israel's big attack. Israel gave its attack a special name. It was called Operation Rising Lion. This was a very big and sudden attack. Israel used many planes and drones for this operation. More than 200 planes and drones flew into Iran early in the morning. This happened on June 13th in the year 2025. Israel had spent many months planning this attack in secret. The planes and drones hit many different places across Iran. The main goal was to hit places where Iran might be trying to make nuclear bombs. Israel believes Iran wants to make a nuclear weapon. One very important place they attacked was called Natanz. This is a very large site related to Iran's nuclear program. Israel hit the part of Natanz that is above the ground. This part had many special machines called centrifuges. These machines are used to make nuclear material more pure. Making it more pure is a necessary step if a country wants to build a nuclear bomb. Israel's attack damaged or destroyed many of these machines and the building they were in. They also hit other key parts of the Natanz site, like the power systems. An international group that watches nuclear sites visited Natanz after the attack. They confirmed that the building above ground was heavily damaged or destroyed. However, they also said that the area around Natanz was safe and there was no spread of dangerous nuclear material. Israel also attacked other nuclear places in different parts of Iran. One place was near the city of Isfahan. There was another place called Fordo. This nuclear place is built very deep inside a mountain, which makes it hard to attack effectively. Besides the nuclear facilities, Israel also targeted important people. They hit leaders in Iran's army. Some very senior army commanders were killed during this attack. Israel also attacked scientists who worked on Iran's nuclear projects. Several nuclear scientists died too. Israel stated that they carried out this attack to prevent Iran from getting nuclear weapons. They were extremely concerned that Iran was getting very close to building a nuclear bomb. Because of this concern, Israel decided to launch this preemptive strike. They said the attack was necessary to protect their own country and slow down Iran's progress towards a nuclear bomb. It was a powerful and surprising attack by Israel. Iran is surprised. Iran's leaders were very surprised by Israel's attack. It was much bigger and faster than they thought it would be. They did not expect Israel to attack at that time. Some thought maybe the attack would happen later after new talks. This thinking was a big mistake. It meant Iran was not ready when the attacks started. Many important people in Iran died in the attacks. Several high-ranking army leaders were killed. Important scientists who worked on nuclear things also died. This was a big loss for Iran's defense. Iran made mistakes by not being ready for this attack. Important military leaders were in their normal homes or meeting together in places that were not very safe. They did not move to hidden strong places. This made them easy targets. One meeting of senior staff was hit, killing everyone there. Israel seemed to know a lot about Iran's country and secret places. Israel used secret agents inside Iran. These agents placed small bombs or drones in different places many months before the attack began. These were like hidden weapons waiting. When Israel's main attack started, these hidden things also began. They attacked radar stations and places with missiles to shoot down planes. This helped Israeli planes fly over Iran without being stopped. It showed how well Israel had planned and how surprised Iran was. People in the capital city, Tehran, felt shock and confusion. They could not understand how Israel could attack so many places deep inside their country. The attack showed Iran had big problems with its security. Some people in Iran were scared. They started to doubt if their government could protect them. They saw many important military leaders killed quickly. Some felt the government helped friends in other countries, but not enough to defend Iran itself. This big surprise attack caused shock and uncertainty in Iran. It made Iran feel less safe and showed they were not prepared for a large, fast attack on their land. Iran fights back.
After Israel's big attack, Iran's top leader was very angry. He said Israel started a war and Iran must punish them. Iran decided to fight back. Iran called its response Operation Severe Punishment. Iran sent many big missiles towards Israel. They planned to send many but fired fewer than 100 missiles in the first group. These were ballistic missiles. The missiles flew over the sky towards different places in Israel. Some missiles went to cities like Tel Aviv. They also targeted military places in Israel. In Israel, people heard loud sounds. They were very scared. Israel has a defense system called Iron Dome that tries to stop missiles in the air. The Iron Dome and other systems tried to stop Iran's missiles. Most were stopped, but some missiles hit places in Israel. There were explosions. Some buildings were damaged in places like Tel Aviv. People in Israel were hurt. At least 2 people died, and many dozens were injured by falling parts or the hits. People had to quickly go to safe rooms or shelters to be safe. It was a scary time for many people in Israel. Iran's army said they hit many places in Israel strongly and exactly. Iran sent more groups of missiles later. This was Iran's strong answer to Israel's attack. It was the biggest time Iran had directly attacked Israel with missiles. The world watches. The big fight between Iran and Israel made the world watch. Many countries saw what was happening and felt worried. They did not want the fight to become a big war across the whole area. This was a dangerous time for the Middle East. The USA is a strong country and a friend to Israel. The USA said it supported Israel and its right to protect itself. But the USA also clearly said it was not part of Israel's first attack on Iran. The President of the USA, Donald Trump, made a public comment. He said that Iran must make a deal about its nuclear program. The USA moved more military help to the area. This was to defend its own forces there and to help Israel if Iran attacked more. Countries in Europe also watched closely. Leaders from different countries in Europe were very worried about the violence. They asked Iran and Israel to stop fighting right away. They said it was very important to stop the fighting and try to find a way to talk. They hoped that peace could return. Russia and China are big countries with their own important roles in the world. Russia has relationships with Iran. Russia said that Israel was wrong to attack first. Russia was worried that the fighting would get much worse and spread. China also said it was very worried. China asked for calm from both sides and said they should stop fighting. Both Russia and China seemed to blame Israel for the start of this big problem. Before this fighting, countries were trying to talk with Iran. These talks were important discussions about Iran's nuclear program and how to stop it from making nuclear weapons. But because of the attacks and the response, these important talks stopped. This made it harder to find a peaceful way forward. Many countries in the Middle East are neighbors to Iran and Israel. They were also very worried about the fighting. They did not want the war to come to their countries. Some of these countries quietly helped to stop the missiles that Iran fired towards Israel, but they also publicly asked for calm. Iran also has friends in different countries. These friends often fight against Israel in other ways. But this time, when the direct fight started between Iran and Israel, these friends did not launch big attacks to help Iran. Groups like Hezbollah, which is a strong group near Israel, did not start a new front of fighting. This showed that maybe Iran's friends could not help much in this direct fight, or they were afraid of starting a much bigger war that would hurt them too. The world waited to see what would happen next. Everyone hoped the fighting would stop soon. The danger was very high for the whole region. People are hurt. The fighting between Iran and Israel brought sadness and problems to many people. In Iran, some reports said that many people died because of the attacks. Hundreds more were hurt. Pictures from cities in Iran showed buildings that were broken. Some families had to leave their homes because they were not safe. People were very scared during the attacks. In Israel, people also felt the pain of the fighting. Missiles from Iran hit areas where people lived. At least 2 people were killed. Many others were injured. Some buildings where families lived were badly damaged. When the air raid sirens sounded, people in Israel had to quickly go to safe places like bomb shelters. They stayed there and waited for the danger to pass. The fear was very real for many men, women, and children in both countries. The fighting did not just hurt people and buildings. It also hurt the economy, which is how countries make and use money. When there is fighting, it is hard for businesses to work normally. In Israel, some flights were stopped. People in Iran also felt the problems. There were reports of long lines for gasoline. The value of their money went down. The fighting also affected the price of oil around the world. Oil is very important for cars, planes, and making electricity. Because the fighting was in the Middle East, where a lot of the world's oil comes from, people worried that it would be hard to get oil. This made the price of oil go up quickly. This means things that use oil, like driving a car, became more expensive for people everywhere, not just in the Middle East. So the war was not just about armies and missiles. It was about people losing their lives, getting hurt, being scared in their homes, and facing problems with work and money. The effects of the fighting spread far beyond the places where the bombs fell. Many people hoped that the fighting would stop soon, so life could start to become normal and safe again. The big fight between Iran and Israel happened for several important reasons. It was not a sudden event without history. One main reason is that Israel was very worried about Iran. Israel believed Iran was close to making nuclear weapons. Israeli leaders, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, often said that Iran getting nuclear weapons would be a big danger for Israel's existence. Israel had been doing secret operations for many years to try and slow down Iran's nuclear programs and missile programs, but Israel's intelligence services had new information. They believed Iran was quickly making the materials needed for a bomb and was getting very close to having this ability. Israel felt they had to act now before Iran reached a point where it would be too difficult to stop them. This timing was also important because talks about Iran's nuclear program with countries like the United States had not been successful recently. Israel felt diplomacy was not working well enough to stop Iran. Iran had its own strong reasons for fighting back with many missiles. Iran said that Israel started the fighting with a big attack on Iranian land. Iran's top leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and other officials said Israel's attack was like a declaration of war. They said Iran had a clear right to defend itself and respond to this aggression. When Israel attacked, it surprised many in Iran. It killed important military leaders and damaged key places. This made Iran feel a strong need to respond forcefully. They wanted to punish Israel for attacking them and show that Iran is strong and will not be attacked without fighting back. This was also important for Iran's leaders to show their own people that they are protecting the country. This conflict is also part of a very long and difficult history between Iran and Israel. They have been rivals for many decades, fighting through other groups in the region like in Syria or Lebanon. The problems between them have been growing for a long time. Other countries in the Middle East are also part of this complex situation with different friendships and problems with Iran and Israel. The fight between these two can affect the whole area. Both sides used modern fighting methods in this conflict, like using drones for attacks and gathering information, and carrying out complex secret operations. So the fight happened because of Israel's deep fear of Iran getting nuclear weapons and Iran's strong feeling that it had to defend itself and respond after being attacked. These reasons are tied to a long history of problems and tension between the two countries. It shows how difficult and dangerous the situation in the Middle East can be. What now? After the attacks, everyone is asking, what happens now? The fighting was big. It showed that both countries can hurt each other, but it also showed how dangerous the situation is now. Leaders in Israel and Iran have very hard choices. Should they fight more or should they stop? Israel believes it must stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons. They might want to attack more places. They want to push back the threat from Iran. Israeli leaders have said they might continue their actions, but if they attack again, Iran could get very angry and fight back harder. Even if Iran's army was hurt, they can still fight back, maybe not with many missiles, but in other ways. Iran has other options. They could attack ships in the sea, they could use computers to attack other countries, they could attack in secret ways. More fighting means more people will get hurt and buildings will be broken. It could make the war much bigger. It is a very hard decision for both sides. Other countries are watching very closely. The United States is a big and powerful country. It is a strong friend of Israel. President Donald Trump has spoken about this. He supports Israel's safety. He has also said that Iran should make a deal about its nuclear program, or things could get even more brutal for them. The United States has sent its Navy ships to the area near the Middle East. They are there to help protect American forces. They are also ready to help Israel defend itself if needed. The United States wants to stop Iran, but it does not want a full war in the region. The next steps by the United States are very important. The whole Middle East is in a dangerous moment. The fight between Iran and Israel is like a fire that could spread quickly. Countries near Iran and Israel are very worried. They are afraid the fighting will come to their homes. They do not want to be part of this war. Some countries have asked both sides to stop fighting immediately. The Houthi group, who are friends with Iran, have already tried to attack Israel. This shows how the fight can bring in other groups and countries. The danger is not just for two countries, but for the whole area around them. Talking is the best way to stop the fighting, but talks are very difficult now. The important talks about Iran's nuclear program stopped when the attack started. This makes the situation harder. Many countries around the world are trying to help. Countries in Europe have asked for calm. Big countries like Russia and China are worried about the peace in the world and want the fighting to stop quick. But the leaders in Iran and Israel are feeling pressure from their own people. They have lost soldiers and citizens. It is hard for them to sit and talk when there is so much anger and fear. They must find a way to step back from fighting. The world needs peace in this part of the world. If the fighting gets bigger, it can hurt everyone globally. The price of oil can go very high. More people will need help and may have to leave their homes. Many people around the world hope and pray for peace, not more war. Leaders must be very careful now about their next moves. They must try to find a way to talk again, even if it is very hard right now. Maybe other countries can help them find a way to meet or send messages. Stopping the fighting is the first and most important step to save lives and prevent more damage. The future is not clear today. Will they find a way to stop the fighting soon, or will the danger grow and bring more countries into the conflict? The choices made now by the leaders are very important for the future of the Middle East, and maybe for other parts of the world too. Finding peace is the goal. What do you think Iran and Israel should do now to stop the fighting and find peace? Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to English Odyssey. It only takes a second, and it really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you. Thanks for sticking around till the end of the story. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss a new story. Have a wonderful day, take care, and see you next time.